This is Irontrader, and this is Midday Trading. We're going to see what's going on here with natural gas and with crude oil, and then we're going to throw in the old mix, old Tesla, TSLA. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy, selling stock, commodity, ETF. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, here we have natural gas, your daily and your weekly chart. Now you can see the big gap up. You're thinking, what? What's going on? Well, the contract roll is all completed now. We are in the June contract. So we have pretty much the same thing, this little wider gap versus here. Now, you're going to have to get used to these because when you look at the thing, and I posted this earlier here in my morning video, exactly how you're going to be raising all the way up here. By the time you get to December, you're going to be gapping all the way up in there in the 3 area here, okay? So always just keep that in mind. Look at that. You can go to barchart.com, or you can just look at my what I posted there for you, and it's all right there, okay? So let's just take a look here. Today we had a high of 2.0. Okay, this is what we're looking for, and this is what I've been pointing out here for, I don't know, months now. Okay, if it breaks out, that's what we're going to be looking for. Now, what we're looking here, like on the downside, today's low here was 1.91. So what we want to do is we just want to start looking at these candles, what a C is going to be next. So your next in line here is going to be 1.89, and then we're going to come right over here to this level here. This is that 1.85 level. See how nicely that lines up right there? 1.85, and then the previous day we had a lower low, which was 1.84. Okay, so what we have here now is you want to watch the bottom. However this finishes, the bottom of the candle is going to be your gap, and then the top of this candle is going to be your fill. Okay, so we have a gap and a fill. Now, we look at the last time the contract rolled here. Okay, we had a 1.67. When it came down, it only put a 1.68, so it never did fill that gap. And we had a nice good sideways here, make some nice money on the upside, but eventually it came down and it filled this gap. These gaps are like a magnet to a fridge. Eventually, if it's up or if it's down, they're going to get filled. Maybe not right away. Maybe it takes a long time, but they are eventually going to get filled. So this one did get filled, okay, a couple weeks later. So you always want to watch that. So bottom line here, what you all want to do, if this keeps on selling down, the key level is going to be this 21-day at 1.78. And then you have your 50-day right below that at 1.759. And then we have your 8-day right below that at 1.753. Okay, very, very nice. And then again, if that's lost, then we're going to look right to the top of that candle. There is your gap fill at 1.675. Okay, so that's what we want to look at. Now, today here, natural gas, I say, yeah, it didn't look like much, but actually there was a lot of good trading here. Like I trade the UNG, which is actually the natural gas ETF. It's a one-on-one, and it had a good trading range. I mean, you had what do we have here? Okay, 13.96 on the bottom and 14.24 on the top there. So you had a good trading range. Same way with oil, you had 13.05 on the bottom, 13.49 on the top. So very, very good. Now, even the KOLD, which is the short for that had a good trading range today. Also at 71.90 and then 74.13. I didn't scalp any KOLD here. I'm just kind of looking here just to be scalping the long side, and it worked out pretty good here. So if you want to do that, you can also do options. You can do futures, or however you want to trade it. But UNG is really an easy way, to trade the old natty gas. Okay. So anyway, that being said, let's just take a look here at the weekly. Well, we want to hold this 1.764. It looks like we're going to here by the end of the week, and that's always very good anytime we can get above. Now, again, if we can rally up here somehow, this 2.0 is going to be key, and then you got a 100 SMA at 2.11, and then we have your 21-day here sitting at 2.12. Okay, so the charts are kind of thrown off here now because we have that nice big gap up. So we've got to wait for this all to settle down here. So next week here, probably a lot more better trades here. I'm flat right now on natural gas. I have no long, no short, no position at all right now. And I don't really have any intention of taking any more trades here in the natural gas here today. Okay, let's take a look here on the hourly and the 4-hour. Okay, here we have your hourly chart, and I can see where she just had a big gap up situation. But again, like last time it had a gap up like that, it filled the whole 9 yards here. So this is really nothing here that we can really go or really trade off of, I should say. On the upside, we could watch that 21-day at 1.93. You could watch that 1.94, and then you have your retest up there at 2.0. But eventually, I just think you've got to have a couple days here for this to shake out. and then maybe we can get down to that gap fill. Not really sure, but we got to see how this is all going to shake out. But now when you have that gap up like that, it just kind of throws the old charts right on off here. So this here was looking good, but we kept on putting it in these lower lows here. See, all the way on down here. Okay, that's never what you want to see. And then we have the gap up here. So let's just see next week here how this is going to shake out. And maybe we say we fill that gap, then we can get back running up again here to a regular, actually, a chart there that we can actually chart and trade off of. Right now, you're just kind of trading like trading the UNG. You kind of like, going in the blind on that. You're just kind of more of a, just trying to get little scalps on what you want to do here. But right now, we have to wait till these charts get set just a little bit better here. Next week they should be rolling good. Okay, let's take a look here at crude oil. Okay, here we have crude oil. Okay, now this was actually a very, very good trade. Okay, now I was just going to point out here because there's been a lot of posts there in the chat room there about where to buy, where to sell. So I think that what I'll do this weekend is I'm going to come up with a video for you on buy points and sell points and exactly buy support and sell resistance kind of a situation. But I'm just going to go over this real quick with you right now. Okay, so when this candle ran up here, you put in a higher high, which is always very good. So that tells me as long as you didn't go below that candle, that tells me that to take the long, okay? So as you're going on long and then you keep on holding it until we get past the previous day's candle. Once you start running up and get into this 8 simple moving average here, that's where you sell. You don't buy up here, you sell into that resistant level. The next day, this was just a scalper only because you can see that it just could not hold close above that 8 SMA. So you do not hold when you get a candle like this overnight. That's not what you do. You wait till the next day. Now the next day we came down, but you're holding this nice support level right here, okay? And it never came down to the 50 SMA. So this is what you wanted to be watching. So then what you do is once it's got over this 8 SMA here, okay, and you close above it, that is where you go long and you can hold that trade overnight. Okay, no problem, because now you're over this key 8 SMA here. Okay, that's what I did. You hold that overnight. Now today, we have so far an indecision candle. But what I did is as I'm holding this, I sold into this at the top here. Okay, I sold that UCO. Okay, it was a really, really good trade. It got as high today as 34.67. I didn't get 34.67. I sold it out at 34.50. I was very, very happy with that, okay? So you don't have to sell the top. You don't have to buy the bottom. But you had that nice meat in the middle all the way from here to there. And the reason you sell into this, because this is very, very key resistance, okay? It's going to take more than just one day to get through that, okay? You don't buy up here, okay? You sell up here. You buy when you close above that key 8 simple moving average. Very, very, I know, sometimes I get a lot of hand because I've been doing this so long, it just comes so easy to me. But there's a lot of new guys here, a lot of new guys, gals on the site, okay, that maybe don't know this. So realistically, here's just what you do. But you guys, if anybody has any kind of a question, just post it in the chat. If anybody wants me to look at a stock, a commodity ETF, post it in the chat, and I'll punch it up here for you on midday trading, okay? Because we always do, natural gas, crude oil, and whatever, So, that's all good with me, okay? So we want you to make sure that you're making money on this, okay? So that's the key. So just always remember, when you close above these key levels, okay, that is your 8 simple moving average, your 21-day, your 50-day, your 100-day, and your 200-day. When you close above it, that tells you you can get long and stay long until you get to the next level. And that's when you get to that next level, you sell into it. Now, again, next week, or say maybe even today, if it closes above this 21-day, then I will jump back into the trade because I know next level is going to be right here at Old Sticky, at 85.64. That's going to be the next level. And then we can just follow the tops of these candles here all the way till you get 87.67, okay? Very, very easy. Now, another good trade is once this breaks out of here, and eventually it's going to break out of this 87.67, then we'll just come to the top of this candle. So we know that's $90. So you can go from 87.67 to $90. Very, very easy. And then if it breaks above this candle, it can go from 90. You can follow these candles, but you're going right to 95. that's the level, okay? So if you know that, then you can take the long, but don't take a long up here. You want to take the long above this key support level, which was the 8 SMA, and then you sell into that 21 SMA. That's how you work. Okay, so on crude here, what we're going to watch here on the upside is we're going to watch today's high. That's 84.46, and then we're going to watch here that 84.52. Now again, if we can close above that, we can come to the bottom here, 84.75. Okay, we have 85.51, and then we have sticky here at 85.64. That is going to be your next level on the upside. The downside, we watch today's low, 83.35. Okay, a close below that, this is what you're looking at right here, 82.86. Okay, again, that's very, very key support. And if that's lost, we'll come to the bottom of this candle, 82.44, and then we'll come to the bottom of yesterday's at 81.99. Then we come to the 50 SMA. So what you're doing is you're trading level to level. If this 8 SMA is lost, then we look to the next level. If that's lost, we'll look to the next level until it finally stops. Then you go there and take a long, okay? So another thing what you're always going to be looking for here is you never buy when you see these red candles and you have a series of lower lows and lower highs. That's never good. You always want to look at a candle like this, okay? See now, this came down and it looked like, oh, I'm jumping in short, I'm going down. No, no, no. That is a bottoming tail candle. That's where you buy, and then look how nice that ran up. Just like this candle here, that's another version of it. That's where you buy, then she goes right on up here. Where you put this is called like a red dog, is what that's called. Where it puts in a lower low, fakes everybody out to go short, and then it rallies up higher, okay? That's how you trade. Any kind of a breakout like this, okay? So when you have a candle that runs up here, and then when you break out, that's what you want. But when you see topping tails like this, and then you see retests like that, that's when you want to say, I got to get out of this trade. It's the same way here. This is a perfect example. You had a high of 87.63, went sideways, and then here was on the Middle East situation. It went up there, made a 3 cents higher, but it couldn't hold it. You don't buy that. That's where you sell into. That's a double top situation, okay? Then you notice that these candles couldn't get through this 8 SMA here. That tells you you don't get long. You just scalp that, put the money in your pocket, okay, until you can start getting the green candles. Now what we're going to do is wait till you get above that 21-day here. Then we can start going all the way on up here. If this falls down and holds that 8 SMA, then that's another buying opportunity here to take it right back up. Okay, let's take a look here at Tesla. Okay, here we have Tesla. Now, this is one of my favorite trading stocks. Okay, now the earnings came out and they were not good. They haven't had that kind of a earnings since 2012. Okay, however, if you listen to I always listen to the earnings. I watch the earnings and I listen to the conference call. Okay, so that's the key. So Musk basically came out there and he said he's going to try to create a $25,000 electric car. And that might possibly come out end of 24. They might be building more like 25. Okay. And then they're talking about with the robo taxis. So realistically, this stock right here is pretty much smoke and mirrors. It's on hope and dreams that maybe this will come out, maybe that'll come out. Okay. So again, we don't know that. However, I'm a fan of Musk. Okay. And I think he reminds me of like a Howard Hughes kind of a situation. Howard Hughes, I thought was way better, but I just say he's kind of like that. The thing about it is I think he just has to focus a little bit more on one thing. But again, you're losing market share. No one's buying these electric vehicles. Look at Ford's number. Okay, Ford came out. They lost for the quarter $1.3 billion on electric vehicles. They're making it up under other vehicles, but you're losing 1.3, and they're projected to lose 5.6 billion this year on electric vehicles. Okay. The only way they can sell these is they have to lower the price. The problem is trying to build a $25,000 car that's going to have the amenities and the stuff that people want. Very, very difficult. Okay. Now that being said, okay, me as a trader, the only thing I care about is making money off the stock in both directions. Okay. Now an easy way to short this is TSLS. That is an easy way to take a short and you can make a lot of money. Okay, so but let's just take a look at the long. Now, the other day, I scalped a nice 7 points off of this here, okay, because see, again, I don't really care about the company or anything like that. All I care about as a trader, okay, is making money off the stock. That's what it is. This is why you want to follow the chart. So what we have here is you got a high, a lower high, a lower high, and a lower high. That's never good, okay? But we are above this 21 day here. So this is what you're watching right now. This is going to be very, very key, okay? 1.756. Now, we haven't been above that 50 day here all the way since 110, okay? Everything else is you're below that 50 day. So if you can cross above, then you can rally. This is what you need to do is close above 175.60, okay? If you can, then you got 179.57 right there. That would be the top of this candle. Then we can rally over to the top of that candle. You're looking at 184.25, okay? And then what we can do is we have a gap, okay? So you want to look at the bottom there. That's at 186.72. So you have a gap and a fill, and then we can look to the top of that candle. You're looking at 199.75, and then we can go into this area here at 205.60, okay? However, everything's going to be based on, can you close above that 175.60? Very, very key, okay? If you can, then we can start ratcheting all the way on up here. But we look at this simple moving average, your 21's on a downslide, 50-day, 100-day, 200 SMA, okay? So what we want to watch here on the downside is you want to watch this key 164.34, okay? Very, very key. If that is lost here, well, we can look at this 155.39. But what I want to point out to you is the bottom of this candle here, okay? So this is 157.51. That is your gap. And then we want to look to the top of this candle. That is 147.26. That is your fill. So we have a gap and a fill right here when we get past this 8 SMA here. So if this sells off here, watch that 21 day, watch that 8 day, watch this gap, watch that fill, and then you have a retest down here at 138.80. On the upside, it's all going to be about that 50 SMA, because you can see here the price has been below that all the way down here, okay, since January. Okay, so what does that tell you? Okay, so this is what I'm saying. See how this thing, everything is series of lower highs all the way on down. So we got a little, I think you still got a good short squeeze here. People have that FOMO going, okay? They say, oh, I got to get in. He's going to build these cars, and this is going to be this, and that robotaxi, and everything's going to be so great. Again, remember with the robotaxi, you got to do volume. You can't just show up with one car, okay? You have to have a lot of vehicles, and then you got to put that into the test procedure in the actual city and to see how that all shakes out here, okay? So always remember that. This is facing a lot of headwinds. Plus, you got to figure that he's actually now losing money on every car that he's making here, okay? And this is very, very government subsidized. So just remember that when you are trading, okay? So don't have no opinion about, oh, this or that. Just take all the information in context, okay? But again, upside, watch that key 50-day, 175.60. If you can close above, then we got room we can run all the way up to even that 100-day, maybe even up to that 200-day. But if you can't get above that, then we're going to come down here and watch that 21-day, that gap, and then we want to watch that 8 SMA, and then we watch the fill. Then you have a nice big retest all the way on down. Okay, that's what I got for you. Natural gas, we got a little crude, and we got a little bit of old Tesla. Now I'll be back here after the pit close here, and we'll go a little bit more in depth on crude oil and on natural gas. Thanks for watching.